Hey guys, the Pong Omega has many cool features, and we're going to be talking about the app, the Pong Omega app, and how you can use each of these key features to meet your needs this season. Regardless if you're using a tablet or phone, make sure that your Bluetooth is turned on. If you're using an Android device, make sure that both the Bluetooth and the location are turned on. Step 2, open your Pong app and go to Connection. Hit Scan and then connect to Bluetooth. For new users, we suggest doing the quick video tutorial, the walkthrough, but because we're walking through it today, that part is unnecessary. So we're going to click drills right down here on the bottom, and we're going to just jump into the test drills. So type in test drill number 1, and it's going to give a no spin ball right here to the center of the table. So just hit start drill, and the no spin ball should be about 16 inches from the end line. It doesn't have to be exactly there. It's going to be in somewhat of a range. Could be 12, anywhere between 12 to 20 inches from the end line. We're looking for it hitting center of the table. If it's not, refer to the end of this video. We have a calibration section where you can learn to calibrate your robot. Next, we're going to do test drill number 2. So search here at the top for test drill 2. It's going to give you a top spin ball here and a top spin ball there. Make sure that it's about even from the corner. We're not looking for one ball to the middle and one ball off to the side. They're looking for them both to be about even from the corner. And then test drill number 3 is going to give you a backspin, side spin serve. Just make sure that it clears the net. If that serve is being thrown into the net, then again, refer to the calibration section. Now, I know that you're excited to get started, so let's just jump into how to use the robot. Forehand warm-up, all you have to do is click that. For a right-hander, it's going to give you that ball right there. That would be a lefty's backhand warm-up or a righty's forehand warm-up. Duration and break. You can see down here where it says duration. You can just set it like that for however long you want. If you want to do longer than 30 seconds, we'll set it for, let's do 1 minute and 5 seconds, confirm. And then break is how much break you have before the robot restarts. So how we have it set here, it'll give you 1 minute and 5 seconds of forehand warm-up, followed by a 10-second break, and then it'll automatically start. If you don't click duration or break, the robot will go continuous until you come back and stop the drill. BPM, that's how many balls per minute. So my forehand warm-up, maybe I want to start at 65 or 70 balls per minute. A different drill, like a pushing drill, I might want to do it more at 30 or 35 balls a minute. Try to simulate what an actual game would be. If you're struggling with consistency, then slow it down with the BPM. Mirror, that allows the drill to be mirrored. So if I was a righty and I was doing forehand warm-up, that would be this one. If I was a lefty and I wanted to do forehand warm-up, instead of changing the drill, I could just hit mirror. Okay? This applies for other drills as well. Let's say, for example, if I did a drill like, let's say, 1 forehand, 1 middle. If I wanted to change that to 1 backhand and 1 middle for a righty, all I would do is I would hit the X to go back, and then I would hit mirror, and it changes it to that side. So whatever drill you have, it can reverse it simply by clicking mirror. Pong robots are made to play like a person. It's not going to give you the ball to the exact spot. It's going to be in a small radius as far as where the balls are being thrown. For me personally, I love hitting scatter and widening that radius. That way it makes it more fun and more challenging, so I have to adjust more, just like I would in an actual match. So we've talked about scatter, we've talked about mirror, we've talked about duration and break and balls per minute. In a few minutes, we're going to be talking about random and shuffle placement. Those are actually two of my favorite features, but for right now, we are going to create a simple drill. So all you're going to do is hit plus, and you can drag the first ball wherever you want on the screen. A good setting for just a basic drill is trajectory 100, speed 13, spin +2. That's a pretty good one. If we wanted to put it to the backhand side, we would do that. If we wanted to put it to the forehand side, we would do that. If we wanted to add a little bit of side spin, we can add a little bit of side spin that's curving this way. Or we could add a little bit of side spin this way, which would mean the ball would curve a little bit that way. The delay is the time between balls. So minus delay gives you more time between balls, plus delay gives you less time between balls, and this is trajectory that changes the ball up and down. If we wanted that ball to the forehand to be backspin instead, all we would do is go down. -2, -3, -4. As you can see, the darker color is associated with more spin. White is no spin, and then green is top spin. The darker green that you get, like +6 or +7, that indicates it's more top spin. Before you start the drill, you may want to hit sample, and that sample just allows you to test the ball to make sure that's exactly the ball that you want. So we have a basic topspin ball to the forehand, and I'd like to have another one to the forehand. I can hit clone here, and that will clone another one of the exact same balls. If I wanted to create a different type of ball, I would hit plus, and that's a different type, and I can adjust this one any way that I like. If you want to clone it, you can also clone it and adjust it. We would recommend cloning if it's exactly the same ball, but if it's a different ball, we would recommend plus. If you don't like this particular one, you want to get rid of it, all you have to do is hit the trash button. So trash. So we've got a ball here, and I want to clone it. Clone, clone, clone. Up. I don't want 4 balls, I just want 3 balls, and then I just hit the trash button right there. Now we're going to talk about random and shuffle placement. So we're going to create a new drill, and we're going to do a backspin drill, and then we'll do a game situation drill. So this one's going to give us a series of backspin balls. We're going to put the trajectory for 28, speed 10, spin -2. If we want to sample it, we can hit sample just to make sure that's the particular right ball that we're looking for. And we're just going to clone it a bunch of times and move the balls around to different locations. Now, we're going to use random on this one. What random does is it randomizes the order of the balls. Because it's a backspin one, we're going to put it at 35 balls per minute and then hit start. This is going to randomize the order of the balls. Now we're going to do a drill for shuffle placement. So we're going to create another drill. This time we're going to do a short no spin serve. We're going to put it at trajectory 18. We're going to do speed 10, spin 0. That's our short no spin serve. We're going to enable the serve feature, and then we're going to hit plus. We're going to do 2 top spin balls. We're going to do spin +2, speed 12, trajectory 104. Clone that one and put it over there. And then we're going to create a 4th ball, which is going to be a high ball. We're going to put the trajectory all the way up. We're going to put the speed down to speed 8, and we're going to give just a little bit of topspin. So we've got 4 balls here. Now, I love doing practice sessions like this. You can drag the serve to here, the next ball there, the next ball there, and then the next ball here. So it'd be like a short nose spin serve to your forehand, followed up by top spin there, and then a high ball there. Because we enabled the serve feature, there would be also a natural break before the beginning of the next rally. Now, you can do it like that, or like I like to do, I enjoy hitting shuffle placement. Now, the reason you wouldn't want to hit random here is because, remember, random randomizes the order of the balls, and we want to keep them in this order. Serve, topspin, high ball. What do we want to randomize? We want to randomize the placement. So shuffle placement randomizes the placement within the selected balls. Random randomizes the order of the balls. I want to explain a little bit more depth how this works. We're going to create one more drill, and it's going to be a topspin ball to the forehand. We've got trajectory 103, we've got speed 13, and we've got spin +2 and the placement to the backhand. And then we're going to create a high ball to the forehand. So we've got speed 8, spin 0, trajectory 175. I'm going to just sample each ball just to make sure that's exactly what I want. Excellent. Now I want you to see the contrast. If we use random, what it will do is it will give you always a low topspin ball here and a high topspin ball here, but it may give you this ball and then this ball and then that ball and that ball and that ball and then that ball again. So it randomizes the order. If we hit shuffle placement, what it will do is it will give you one low topspin ball to either corner and then one high topspin ball to either corner. One low topspin ball to either corner and then one high topspin ball to either corner. So keep in mind, random randomizes the order. Shuffle placement randomizes the placement. So we're going to just click random first, and I want you to watch this particular one, and I want you to see how it randomizes the order. So as you can see here, all the high balls are still being thrown to the forehand, and all the low balls are still being thrown to the backhand. Now what happens when we click shuffle placement? When we click shuffle placement, it'll be a low ball to either corner, and then a high ball to either corner, a low ball to either corner, and then a high ball to either corner. So we click shuffle placement, and let's check it out. Low ball, high ball, low ball, high ball, low ball, high ball. So as you can probably guess, for this particular one, if we clicked random and shuffle placement, it would give you a low ball to either corner and then a high ball to either corner. If we wanted to increase the likelihood of it giving more often low balls, what would we do? We would create more of those lower balls to increase our odds. The shuffle placement is really ideal for serve drills where it's starting with the serve and then it breaks into a rally. Why is that important? Because with the serve, you want it to serve and then go into the rally. You don't want it to be a rally and then midway through the rally, then it throw in a random serve. Now I'm going to show you how to use the serve feature. So we're going to first create a serve. We're going to do trajectory 17, speed 12, and we're going to do spin 0. So it's going to be kind of a half long or long no spin serve. And all we have to do is click serve feature. And then we're going to create a topspin ball, trajectory 102. We're going to put it for speed 14, spin +1. Let's put the trajectory down a little bit. Yeah, trajectory 102, speed 14, spin +1 right there. Now, what the serve feature does is it gives you a natural delay. So it'll give you the serve +1 ball and then a delay. So we're going to set it at 60 balls a minute. Serve, 1 ball, and then a break. Now, if you want to enable more serves, you can go up to 2 serves. So all you have to do is hit that. We're going to clone it and drag it right to there. In order to enable that one to be a serve as well, all we have to do is hit the serve feature. Now the robot will choose between those 2 serves. It doesn't have to be the same spin. You could choose, let's say for example, like backspin on this one and topspin on that one. Now I want to show you a few of the pre-programmed drills. So we're going to first go to drill number 37. Drill 37, this is an interesting one. It gives a half-long side spin serve curving either direction and then a topspin ball to the middle. So you can see that there's 2 different serves that are programmed there to the middle. And then it gives this serve will either curve this way or this way, and then it gives a topspin ball to the middle. And like we talked about earlier, after the serve, in the next ball, it gives a break before the beginning of the next sequence. So this is considered a 2-ball practice, and this is actually one of the most valuable practices because a lot of rallies in table tennis are only 1 or 2 or 3 balls. So this is one of my favorite drills, is drill 37. Another drill that I want to show you is drill number 28. So drill number 28, just scroll here, it gives a short backspin anywhere, followed up by a deep backspin anywhere. Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. And as you can guess, we need to click shuffle placement in order to make that random. If the shuffle placement is not clicked, it'll go there, 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 and it'll be designated location. So make sure for drill 28, you click shuffle placement. The next drill I'd like to show you is drill number 32. Drill 32 is a side spin serve and then 2 lobs. So it gives, ball number 1 is it gives a side spin serve followed up by 2 lobs, and then a side spin serve followed up by 2 lobs. So this is actually 2 drills combined into one. Now after these first 3 balls, we want to have a little break before the next 3 balls. So in order to do that, on ball number 3, we have to make sure the delay is down all the way. That gives normal timing, and then after that ball, there's a delay. Normal timing, and then after that ball, there's a little delay. So anytime that you're doing a 2-drill combination within the drill, make sure that the last ball has a negative delay. Negative 60 will give you usually quite a bit of time break before the next rally. The amount of time that you get is going to depend on balls per minute. So if you have it set for, let's say for example, 60 balls per minute, that delay is going to be about 1.5 seconds. The next drill that I want to give you is drill 34. Drill 34 gives a short or deep no spin serve followed up by 6 topspin balls anywhere. So as you can see, ball 1 and 2 is the serve followed up by these 6. So if you look and you say, hey, there's 8 balls in the sequence, there's actually 7 because it will serve either one of those. It won't serve both. So it's a 7-ball sequence, random, followed up by a break. Now why do we click shuffle placement? Because we want to keep the order of balls but randomize the placement. One thing that's really helpful is the videos. So if you're not exactly sure how to do a particular drill, click the video button. It will direct you to the YouTube link, and then you can watch someone demonstrating the drill to see, hey, if I'm doing it, exactly what is this supposed to look like? And as you can hear, there's some advice that's been given as well at the same time. So all 60 drills come with the video. All you do is click that video button and it'll direct you to YouTube. If you create a drill and you would like to save it, All you have to do is go up here, give it a specific name. We'll call this one YouTube, and hit confirm. And all we have to do is hit the save button, and then that particular one is saved. If you want to search the drill, all you have to do is come here, click YouTube, and then that drill comes back up. That's how you save the drill. There may be some drills that are too hard or too easy and you want to make adjustments. So if you're going to make an adjustment to the drill, let's say for example instead of the half-long side spin serve being just side spin, we want to add a little bit of backspin to it. All we'd have to do is make that adjustment and then hit save, and it'll be saved for the next time you come and do that same drill. For sending and receiving drills, you have some great options. To send an individual drill, all you have to do is click that, click this, and then hit share. You can airdrop it, text it, or email it. So all you have to do is hit the email, the text message, or the airdrop, and then hit send. To receive a drill, let's say for example, somebody recently emailed this one to me. I opened it up in my email, and then I'm going to hit this button right down here on the bottom, and I'm going to open it up in the Pong app. And then do I want to import it? Yes. And then I just imported an entire group of drills. So that's how you send and receive. If you want to send a group of drills, we're going to be talking about the grouping feature later. You just click this, select the group that you want to send, and then click up here and then hit share to share an entire group of drills. One of the most important things is adjusting the drills to give yourself daily challenges. So this particular one, lob to the forehand, how can we adjust that? Well, right now it's trajectory 175, so we could turn the trajectory a little bit lower. We could have it go a little bit deeper. Instead of going directly to the forehand, we could drag it to the middle. We could add a little bit of side spin. So that's an important part for all the drills, is regardless of what drills you really like and you use regularly, try to make adjustments. Instead of just having it go top spin to the forehand, top spin to the backhand, top spin to the forehand, top spin to the backhand, you can not only randomize it, but you can adjust each particular ball. So for this one, we're going to put the trajectory up just a little bit higher for this one, and then we're going to put the trajectory a little bit lower for that one. That one is spin 2. This one we're going to put at spin 1. Every time that you make a little adjustment in the drill, it challenges you just like you would against a different opponent, maybe an opponent that you've never played before. These types of adjustments are critically important if you're going to play well in tournaments. The Pong Omega comes standard with 6 complete training programs. So all you have to do is hit this button right up here at the top, and that brings you to the groups of drills. So 6 groups of 10 drills. So in order to access the drill, all you have to do is click that, and you've got this whole thing here. If you want to make any adjustments to it, you can just click each individual drill and then adjust it as needed. You can set random, you can set duration, and you can set break. You can click the plus button here, and you can add any number of drills, or you can even remove drills from that particular group. At the end of your practice session, it's important to close the app and then unplug your robot. You really want to avoid touching this plate right here. That will set the calibration off in a bad way. So try to avoid touching it. If you accidentally do, in order to do a power cycle on your robot, just simply unplug your robot, give it a few seconds rest, plug it back in, and then it will recalibrate the robot. Keep in mind that the robot is made to play like a human, so it's not going to hit one quarter-size spot on your table. There's going to be a slight range that it's going to hit on almost every drill. So keep that in mind. If it's very erratic and it's very inconsistent, there's 2 things that you should consider. Where it's plugged in down here, make sure that this is firmly connected. All the connections, this connection and this connection, really need to make sure that you're pressed it in firmly. The second thing you need to do is just keep the bowls fairly clean. Make sure you're cleaning your floor regularly. The bowls need to be clean. If they're not clean, you may get a little bit of residue on one of these sides of the plate. In order to remove this residue, you can either use your fingernail or possibly a credit card, but just scrape the residue off of the plate. That may help with the consistency as well. But as I mentioned, if you keep the room clean and the floor is clean, then typically you don't have a problem with that. Very rarely do all the balls need to be calibrated. Typically, if you have an issue, you would calibrate one individual ball. Let's say, for example, here on drill number 21, if this particular ball wasn't going quite high enough, I could just drag it and I could put the trajectory up or down a little bit. But if all the balls need to be calibrated, I'm going to show you how to calibrate it right here in settings. So you go to settings, you go to robot calibration, and you can calibrate the trajectory, speed, spin, or side spin. So we're going to run a little bit of a test together so I can demonstrate it for you. So when we start calibration, the trajectory is going to be normal. I'm going to turn it up and you'll see the ball slightly higher. Then I'll turn it down. You can see the ball slightly lower. So this is normal calibration. This is when I turn it up. You can see the ball bouncing a little bit higher. And this is when I turn it down. You can see the ball going a little bit lower. Same thing as far as the speed. I turn the speed up and now the ball will be going a little bit deeper. I turn the speed down and I'll go a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna do the start calibration. You'll see the ball going deeper or shorter. Start calibration, the ball is normal. Now I turn the speed up and you can see the ball going slightly deeper. Now I'll turn the speed down and it will go slightly not quite as deep. So if you want to set it, all you have to do is adjust those when the calibration is going on and then click Save Calibration. If you want a little bit more in-depth demonstration or explanation of calibration, you can always hit that button right there. Keep in mind that every robot is going to be slightly different, and also the playing conditions are going to be a little bit different, regardless if it's high elevation, low elevation, high humidity, or drier conditions. What type of table you have, what type of balls you're going to use. There is going to be some variable, so if your robot needs to be calibrated, this is how you calibrate it. But first, I would look to calibrate each individual ball as opposed to calibrating all of them. So what's the difference between restore presets and factory reset? Restore presets leaves your drills, the drills that you made, they leave those in place and resets the settings for the drills that came from the factory. Factory reset deletes your drills and goes back to all the factory settings for those original 60 drills. Dark theme just turns the screen darker. If you click Show Ball Paths and then go back to drills, you can see the dotted line for the path of the balls. If you click Show Boundary Lines, that basically shows you these lines. So when you're creating a drill, you can see that you should keep it within this triangle here. Check it out when I take away the boundary lines. When you go back to the drill, you go to create a drill or adjust it, you won't see those lines. I'd highly recommend keeping those lines there. Large ball size. When you're going to adjust or create a drill, you'll see that the ball size here is a little bit larger. In conclusion, I just want to mention that the Pong robot comes with tons of great drills. Basic drills, beginner drills, intermediate drills, advanced drills, and professional drills. However, I feel like it's really fun to be able to create my own drills. So I'd recommend experimenting a little bit for you creating your own drills. Maybe you create a drill with a backspin serve, then maybe a deep backspin ball, maybe a topspin ball, and then a break. In order to do that, we would hit the serve feature that would give that natural pause. So you get backspin here, topspin there, and then take a break. After you've done that one for a while, you can drag the balls around to a different position and practice like that. If you want to just do it on your backhand side, you can drag all the balls to the backhand and you do a push, a loop, and then a loop. If you want to be able to just move it to the forehand, you could click mirror and then do it on the forehand side. So creating your own drills is great, and I'd even recommend creating multiple drills within a drill. So right now we have a short backspin ball, a deep backspin ball, and then a deep topspin ball. In order to create multiple drills within a drill, I would recommend turning off the serve feature. So we've got backspin, backspin, topspin. The second sequence we're going to create, we're also going to start with a backspin. And so we're going to just clone that one. We're going to drag it to there. We're going to do to the back end backspin. And then we're going to do one of these balls, which is topspin. Okay. And then our last sequence that we're going to do is we're going to do a short no spin serve here. And let's do speed 10, spin 0, trajectory 22, followed up by a lob to the backhand. Okay. So let me kind of walk you through this and explain how this works. Okay, so we've got a short backspin ball to the backhand, followed up by a short backspin ball to the forehand, followed up by a deep backspin ball to the forehand, followed up by a topspin ball. Now at the end of that sequence, we want to rest. So what do? We just hit delay minus 60. What's the next one? Short backspin serve there, followed up by a deep topspin one there. We want to rest after that one, so we hit delay minus 60. And our third sequence is going to be a short no spin there, followed up by a lob right there. And we want to delay after that, so we put delay minus 60. So within one drill, we can actually create 3 different game sequences. Now, how we have it set up right now, we're isolating specific spots. Bang, 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 bang. But if we wanted to randomize it, within these 3 drills, all we'd have to do is hit shuffle placement, and then the placement is going to be randomized. We had clicked mirror before, but if we wanted to click mirror again, we can flip it to the other way. But like I said, shuffle placement randomizes all those different locations while keeping it in the same order. In order to wrap it up, I'm going to show you one sample program that you could copy and you can simulate for your practice. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment or question down below. We love great questions. thanks for watching this video on the Pong Omega app. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like down below, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more notifications. We've got more great content coming up in the next few weeks.